This video is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hello, baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
I've had a lot of people talk about Brent Rooker over the past couple of weeks. Rightfully so. Brent Rooker's had a great year this year. A lot of folks have brought up the fact that, hey, if we get him, you know, what's his defense going to be like? He's primarily a DH for the A's. I'm not saying his defense is great, but I don't think the Braves really need defense as much as they normally do. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, because the Braves offense is so strong, they put a premium on defense. That's why Orlando Arcia is playing second base, because the offense pretty much usually takes care of itself. It doesn't need assistance like it does this year. But you add injuries of Ronald Acuna, you add injuries throughout and down the lineup, Ozzie Albies. We've seen Riley get hurt this year. Sean Murphy got hurt this year. You add all that into account, and your offense starts looking weak. And right now, I think they really need help. Brent Rooker could assist there. He's got 22 homers on the year, a .290 batting average. You throw that guy into the lineup and you put him in left or right field, you start looking a lot better. And a lot of people may overlook that, but I think a guy like a Brent Rooker would fit well in Atlanta. I think you could potentially sign him longer term. He's very cost effective. But with that, you're going to have to give up a lot of prospect capital, similar to what we talked about earlier, possibly more than what we talked about earlier for Luis Robert, but virtually the same situation. The thing that you do get with Brent Rooker, if you were to trade for him, is he's not a free agent until 2028. So you have him for a few years, at least under team control. But again, there's no place for a DH on this team. Marcell Ozuna has by far been the best hitter this year. So Brent Rooker would take the field. He would have to play defense, because as a guy who watched a lot of Braves games back in 2022 and 2021 and 2020, I don't know that I want to see Marcell Ozuna in the field ever again. So Brent Rooker would have to take the field. Maybe you take a step back in defense, but I almost think it's worth it to get a Brent Rooker.
Are you ready to save big on a new Chevrolet?
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox, discounted up to $6,500 off. The powerful Chevy Silverados are up to $13,750 off. And the big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile. Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
get ready to smile.
And since we're talking about the Oakland A's, we cannot talk about them without talking about Mason Miller, who has taken the year by storm as a reliever. There's been a lot of talk about the A's wanting to keep Mason Miller. I don't buy that for a second, to be honest with you, because yes, he's not a free agent until 2030. Yes, he's had a great year as a reliever. He's got a 2.21 ERA, 40 innings pitched, 15 saves on the A's. That's pretty good. He's been one of their shining lights this year, certainly in their pitching staff. I would say their entire team. He was an all-star, and he's, again, got a lot of team control. The prospect capital or the trade capital that you'd have to give up to get a Mason Miller would be astronomical, similar to a Garrett Crochet, because everybody's trying to maximize everybody's value. It just is what it is. That said, if you're going to make a phone call for Brent Rooker, if you're going to check in with the Oakland A's, you need to ask about Mason Miller. I think it's unlikely. I don't think it's going to happen. But if Alex Anthopoulos could somehow make that happen, I think it'd be very good for the team. But again, just like Garrett Crochet, I think it's unlikely because, again, there is no ability. It doesn't match up between the two teams. The A's would be looking to cut costs if they're going to trade someone. Mason Miller, they're paying $740,000 for this year. He's not arbitration eligible until 2026. So they're basically paying him the minimum of what they would have to pay a player, and he's very good for them. So unless you're giving back a ton of prospect capital or a ton of MLB capital, you're not going to get him, in my opinion. I think the A's would be foolish to do something like that. This video has been presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.